Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with the Monday Night Raw 5-point preview coming up for the big Memorial Day edition of WWE's Monday Night Raw. Probably two big storylines going into Monday Night Raw. One of them that more than likely is going to be the focus of the show. I would think that it's possibly going to be the main event. If not, I think that WWE is really missing the mark. But then again, there is going to be huge competition for Raw on television. You've got the big Game 7. I don't want to get too much into talking about basketball, but the Thunder played a damn good game yesterday. But in the last minute and a half of that game, they gave that game away. I know that Golden State hit some big shots, but those turnovers were just wowzers. And if you're not watching basketball, you might be watching hockey. Stanley Cup starts. San Jose Sharks seem to be the talk of the town here in Sacramento. They move into the Stanley Cup Finals. The Game 1's going to be tomorrow on Monday as well. And plus, you've already got a lot of people that are going to be doing backyard barbecues, opening up swimming pools, this, that, and the other. Holiday is going to be probably taking some people away from watching wrestling as well. So we'll see what's going down. But of course, John Cena's return to wrestling. John Cena, of course, went down with an injury on the road to WrestleMania. I don't think we ever really figured out what John Cena's real plan for Mania was. Some people thought that it was going to be Cena versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 32, but I don't think those plans were really set into place. But then again, the Shane McMahon return came almost right after the Cena injury, and it seemed like that was like filling the gap. And in interviews, Shane has said that basically it was his idea to come back to WWE, that he saw an opportunity to help out the company and come back into good graces with Vince, Big Daddy Vince, and WWE and everything like that. And we still don't know what's going on with Shane. He lost at WrestleMania, and then he took over Monday Night Raw, and now he's 50-50 in charge of Raw. It looks like he might be either taking over Raw or maybe moving over to SmackDown with the brand split coming in July. I can honestly say I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't really know what the future is going to bring, but we'll see where that goes from here. But Cena's return, we don't really know what direction Cena's going to be going in, but you can think that, honestly, with already having a main event booked for Money in the Bank, you've got Seth Rollins going up against Roman Reigns, the WWE Championship. You got to think that he's not going to be going after the title, so what is he going to be doing? A lot of people would think that he's not going to sort of be a main event guy. He's just there to sort of support the company and work in a lesser role. People are saying that he's going to go after Rusev's United States Championship. Some people think that he's going to be going right after the Money in the Bank to sort of, boost that match, as there is 6 competitors in that match already. You've got Del Rio, Owens, Sami Zayn, Jericho, Cesaro, and Dean Ambrose with one hole left. We'll have to see what goes down to there, but Cena could honestly be going in 2 different directions. We'll have to see which way that's going to go. I would like to see him go into the Money in the Bank match, but I just don't think it's going to go there. I know that we've already gone down the road with him and Cesaro in the United States Championship, but I honestly think they're going to take the easy road with Cena. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see AJ Styles fill the gap in the Money in the Bank. At least that's my dream. But then again, I think AJ might be going in the direction of him and a partner going up against Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows in a match at Money in the Bank. So that could take him out of it. And if you don't have AJ Styles, my mind is honestly blown. I know that they like to put big guys, but it looks like Baron Corbin's going into a feud with Dolph Ziggler to settle their rubber match. They both got 1 wins apiece at pay-per-views, so you think that they would be going at it again. So, does Kane come back? Does Big Show come back? Mark Henry come back for one last bang? They like to put big guys in there. We've seen Kane, we've seen Big Show, we've seen, what was his name? Albert, whatever, Tenzai was in a Money in the Bank, like 2010 or something like that. So we'll see what the future holds for that one. But Cena's return definitely is probably going to be one of the biggest stories of Monday Night Raw. So we'll see what goes down tomorrow night, Memorial Day. All right, my iPhone is saying that it's a little too hot out here, so it cut off the video. But we'll continue with the WWE's Monday Night Raw full 5-point preview. We've already knocked out the John Cena return. Basically, it's Memorial Day. I think they know that there's going to be stiff competition with everything that's going to be out there. But they've put together a pretty good list to fill out the show. I don't know how much time they're actually going to spend talking about the move to SmackDown. I know that since they've announced it, they've had a SmackDown. They spent a little bit of time putting it over, but I think if they're really going to do a real rollout, they're going to talk about it. They're going to talk about it on Monday Night Raw. They're going to have Stephanie. They're going to have Shane. Maybe prolong the storyline of who's going to be taking over SmackDown. They put the video up on YouTube of the two talking about it and the two basically angling to get the job. It seems like both of them want to be in charge of SmackDown more than they want to be in charge of Raw. I think that when all the chips fall, I think that SmackDown is still going to be looked at as the B show. Even like in the Paul Heyman era of like 2002 when he was running SmackDown and he was having like, the great SmackDown tag team matches, and they were having better, I guess you can say, better ratings, and more people were watching SmackDown than they were watching Raw. It was still perceived as if it was the B show, and anytime that Monday Night Raw needed a star, they just got to basically handpick off the SmackDown team who they wanted and when they wanted, and that's just the way it's always been. Basically, if Cena's not going to be the main focus, it's going to be a lot about Seth Rollins. I don't think that we're going to see Seth Rollins wrestle, but we've already seen Seth Rollins named as being the #1 contender going after Roman Reigns. I don't think that we really need to have a contract signing. I don't think that we really need to have another face-off like we did last week. But more than likely, you'll probably see the Usos and Roman Reigns be involved in some sort of a 6-man tag, and maybe Seth Rollins getting involved in the match, taking out Roman somehow, something to make them, really, really want to get down to it. You always have the fallback of, the Shield back in the day, like we've said in the past. This is the third time they've tried to put this match on. You had the Night of Champions match where Roman Reigns had the hernia injury. You had the Survivor Series match where Seth Rollins, his whole knee basically exploded in the match against Kane. And he had to go on the shelf until now, so we'll see what's going down. They're putting over the match that's going to be Ziggler going up against Corbin. Both of them have wins on back-to-back pay-per-views. Ziggler rolled up Corbin for the first win at Payback. Corbin got the win in an ODQ match when basically he hit the end of days after getting Ziggler the shot to the nuts. They're putting this over as this is going to be the end of the feud. The rubber match, my guess is that probably Baron Corbin will get the better of Ziggler here, but I don't know really what to put over what they're going to do on Monday Night Raw. You're putting over the fact of getting to the end of the feud. Do you really have these guys wrestle to get to the point where they're going to wrestle on pay-per-view? I'm not sure. Charlotte last week kicked Ric Flair to the curb, basically saying that it was her ring and she needed Ric Flair to leave. Dana Brooke is going to be playing the Ric Flair character from here on out. I don't know if it's because of the airport incident that happened before the pay-per-view, or if just basically they're tired of seeing Ric Flair, or maybe he's done everything they can do. When you look at it, Charlotte sort of beat almost everybody on the roster. I don't even know who she's going to be going up against at the pay-per-view. The Natalya feud looks finished. There's rumors that Sasha Banks is ready to return, but they don't want to do that match until SummerSlam. We had Paige beat Charlotte on paper. We had Paige beat Charlotte on Raw before the pay-per-view, and then we had Dana Brooke beat Paige on SmackDown after the pay-per-view. So I don't know if that was supposed to end the Paige feud, but basically Charlotte needs to have a contender, and hopefully on Monday we're going to see who puts that together. The one match that is already announced is going to be the Dudleys going up against Enzo and Kaz. I'm guessing that Enzo and Kaz are going to be looking the strongest coming out of this. I don't know if they're building up towards a gimmick match, like a tables match or something like that at the pay-per-view, but why have a normal match to lead up to another normal match at the pay-per-view? So we'll see what's going down. Of course, when you think about this, you always got to think about Kaz beating up both Dudleys on the pre-show to Extreme Rules. So that's one thing to think about. And of course, the final thing is going to be who is going to be the final man to go into the Money in the Bank match. Already got Del Rio, Owens, Sami Zayn, Jericho, Cesaro, and Dean Ambrose named in the match. Some rumors about John Cena. I thought maybe AJ Styles. He's not really talked about in the 5-point preview is all. Just to show you that maybe they're trying to put together a match between him and the club, which sort of seems like the one thing that would be a storyline that I would care about the most building up into to Raw. But I mean, when you take Ambrose, Cesaro, Jericho, Sami Zayn, Owens, and Del Rio off of the main roster without Cena as well, and I guess you can say that Ziggler, Corbin, Rollins, and Roman are out. I don't know who that last spot's going to go to. Big Show, Kane, Mark Henry. They always like to have a big guy in there to catch people. You want to put star power in the match, you put John Cena in there, but names escape me. People are thinking that maybe, you know, we might see a return from Randy Orton, but I don't think that Randy's ready to go yet. So this is a big mystery to me. I don't know who's going to be the final man, but it says that basically we'll find out on Monday Night Raw tomorrow night.